Hello po, I'm Chloe Cerbo, and I'm here to discuss the continuation of Chapter 2, Obligations of the Partnership. So, we are here in the legal relations created by a contract of partnership. The previous reporter already discussed the introduction of Chapter 2 along with the Section 1, Obligations of the Partners among themselves. So, proceed po tayo. There are four legal relations created by a contract of partnership. The relations between partners, the relations between the partners on the hand and the partnership on the other hand, the relations between the partners on one hand and third persons on the other hand, and the relations between the partnership and the third person. So when we say that the relations between partners, I have an example here. So, Reg and Marge entered into a relationship named RM partnership. So, the number 1, it refers to the relations between Reg and Marge. Next, the number 2, relations between the partners on the hand and the partnership on the other hand. So, same example po. So, the number 2, it refers to the relations between Reg and Marge on one hand and RM partnership on the other hand. So, yung RM partnership, yun yung partnership na nabuo nila. Number 3, the relations between the partners on one hand and third persons on the other hand. So, I have an example. So, Reg and Marge entered into a relationship named RM partnership. Reg and Marge are both managing partners who at one time entered into a contract with L and Cha. So, L and Cha is the third person. So, the number 3, it refers to the relations between Reg and Marge on one hand and L and Cha on the other hand. So, last, number 4, the relations between the partnership and the third persons. So, same example po. Reg and Marge entered into a relationship named RM partnership. Reg and Marge are both managing partners who at one time entered into a contract with L and Cha. So, the number 4, it refers to the relations between RM partnership na binuo nila Reg and Marge and yung third persons which is sina L and Cha. So, proceed po tayo sa examples of obligations and rights of a partner. So, the number 1 obligations of partners is to give their promised contribution. So, the obligations is to contribute what has been promised. Article 1786, every partner is a debtor of the partnership for whatever he may have promised to contribute thereto. He shall also be bound for warranty in case of eviction with regard to specific and determinate things which he may have contributed to the partnership. So, if the person fails to contribute the money, property, or industry which he promised to contribute to the partnership, he becomes a debtor to the partnership. The remedy is not rescission, but the remedy in specific performance will damages and interest. So, yung partnership na hindi nag-contribute sa kung ano man yung napagkasunduan, ay liable siya sa damages and interest kung ano yung mangyari sa partnership. So, note, when the contribution is in the form of goods, the amount of the goods must be determined by the proper appraisal of its value at the time of contribution. And why do we have to appraise that? Appraisal is necessary to determine how much has been contributed to determine the partner's share, so it can be agreed upon the contract. A partner should deliver at the beginning of the partnership what has been promised. So, the second obligations of partners is not to convert partnership money to their own use. So, So, if the partner will do that, he or she will liable for that act. She or he is liable for the interest and damages kung ano yung mangyari sa partnership kasi pera yun ng partnership maliban na lang kung merong agreement na papayagan ka nilang gamitin yung pera ng partnership na yun or yung profit ng partnership. So the number 3 obligations of partners is to account and hold as trustee for any profits derived without the consent of the partners. So, kapag sinabi nating trustee, it is an act as the legal owner of the trust assets such as properties, etc. Tagapamahala lang siya pero hindi siya yung may-ari ng properties na yun. So, bilang obligations ng partners, accountable sila to hold a profits derived without the consent of the partners. Pero as trustee, hindi nila pwedeng sabihin na sa kanila mismo yung properties na yun kasi trustee lang sila. So, the number 4 obligations of partners is not to engage in any business which is of the kind in which the partnership is engaged. Article 1789, an industrial partner cannot engage in business for himself unless the partnership expressly permits him to do so. And if he should do so, the capitalist partners may either exclude him from the firm or avail themselves of the benefits which he may have obtained in violations of this provision with a right to damages in either case. So the industrial partner himself cannot exploit his own services for his own profit without the express permission of the owner or the partnership. The prohibition seeks to prevent any conflict of interest between the industrial partner and the partnership and to ensure faithful compliance by said partner with his prestation. So, yung industrial partnership, hindi talaga siya pwedeng mag-engage kahit anong uri ng business kasi magiging konflikto sa kanyang trabaho dahil yung ino-offer niya is yung service niya. Pero yung capitalist partners naman, pwede siyang mag-engage sa isang business basta hindi siya parehas kung ano yung existing partnership na meron siya. Pwede siyang mag-engage sa business basta iba yung business na yun. Kung example, kung yung existing partnership niya is about restaurant, dapat kung mag-i-engage man siya sa ibang business, dapat iba na hindi na siya restaurant. Pwede na siya yung mga spa, ganun. So next is the obligation to managing partners to credit to the partnership the payment made by a debtor who owes them and the partnership. So Article 1792, if a partner authorized to manage collects a demandable sum which was owed to him in his own name from a person who owed the partnership another sum also demandable, the sum thus collected shall be applied to the two credits in proportion to their amounts, even though he may have given a receipt for his own credit only, but should he have given it for the account of the partnership credit, the amount shall be fully applied to the latter. So, this provision applies only to the partner who has been authorized to manage the partnership and who actually undertakes its management. It does not apply to the other partners who are not authorized to manage it, for there can be no ground for suspicion or apprehension in the collection of credits that they may act in bad faith. For example, A and B are partners. B as the managing partner. So, X owes the partnership and B the amount of 5,000 each. So, both debts are due and demandable. So, X pays B the sum of 5,000 and B issues a receipt. So, in such a case, even if B has issued a receipt for his own credit only, the payment made by X will be divided between B and the partnership
proportionately. That 2,500 will go to B and that other 2,500 will go to the partnership. The reason for Article 1792 is that good faith cannot permit a managing partner to subordinate the interest of the partnership to that of his own. So proceed tayo sa obligation to share with the other partners the share of the partnership credit which they have received from an insolvent partnership debtor. So, so Article 1793, a partner who has received in whole or in part his share of a partnership credit when the other partners have not collected theirs shall be obliged. If the debtor should thereafter become insolvent, to bring to the partnership capital what he received, even though he may have given receipt for his share only. So, here is an example. So, A and B are partners in a duly organized partnership. So, X owes the partnership the sum of 1,000. A and B agree to divide the credit with each undertaking to collect his own share. So, A collects the sum of 500 from X and giving a receipt for his share only. B demands payment from X, but the latter turns out to be insolvent. So in this case, A will be required to bring to the partnership the capital of 500 na na-receive niya. So the reason being that in case the partnership debtor or X or yung si X becomes insolvent, his debt becomes a bad debt and it will be unfair for A not to share in the loss with his co-partners. So, yun nga yung nangyari. Dun sa inutang na X na 1,000, di ba nabayaran niya si A ng 500? Nung si B na yung nag-demand ng kanyang share is naging insolvent niya or wala nang pambayad si X doon. Kaya, magiging unfair kung si A lang yung binigyan. Kaya sabi dito, the partners will share the loss kung ano man yung nangyari. So, the last is the obligations of the partners is to pay for damages suffered by the partnership through their fault. So, Article 1794. Every partner is responsible to the partnership for damages suffered by it through his fault, and he cannot compensate them with the profits and benefits which he may have earned for the partnership by his industry. So, for example, A, B, and C are partners. Through the fault of A, the partnership sustained damages in the amount of 5,000. Under the law, A shall be responsible for such damages. However, if A, through extraordinary efforts like overtime work, excellent salesmanship, and public relations, was able to bring enormous profits to the partnership, the court may mitigate or lessen A's responsibility or damages. Kung ano man yung nangyari, because of the fault of partners, i-shoulder nila yung interest and damages na nangyari sa partnership. Pero nakadepende yan kung katulad dito kay A na meron siyang inacknowledge yung extraordinary effort niya kaya na-lessen yung kanyang responsibility for damages. So, proceed po tayo sa rights of partnership. So, proceed po tayo sa rights of partners. So, rights of partners is the right to associate with another person in their share, right to have access to and inspect and copy partnership book, right to demand a formal account, and right to ask for the dissolutions of the partnership at the proper time. The property rights of partners is the right in specific partnership property, interest in the partnership, and the right to participate in the management. So, note, limited partners have no right to participate in the management. So, proceed po tayo sa
So Article 1784, a partnership begins from the moment of the execution of the contract unless it is otherwise stipulated. So meron siyang general rule. A partnership begins from the moment of the execution of the contract. So, for example, X and Y entered into a contract of partnership on July 2, 2020. So, so the life of their partnership begins on July 2, 2020 when the partners executed their contract of partnership. So, merong exception sa rule na to. Exception is the partners can agree on some other date for the start of the partnership. So, exception dun sa rule ng nung executions nung partnership kung kailan magsa-start, pwedeng magkasundo yung both partners kung kailan magsa-start yung partnership nila. Example, X and Y entered into a contract of partnership on July 2, 2020. However, X and Y agreed that the commencement of their contract of partnership will be on September 1, 2020. So, the life of their partnership begins on September 1, 2020 as agreed upon and not on July 2, 2020. So, Article 1785. When a partnership for a fixed term or particular undertaking is continued after the termination of such term or particular undertaking without any express agreement, the rights and duties of the partners remain the same as they were at such termination, so far as is consistent with the partnership at will. A continuation of the business by the partners or such of them as habitually acted therein during the term, without any settlement or liquidations of the partnership affairs. It is prima facie evidence of a continuation of the partnership. So, partnership with a fixed term, it is only where the life or period of existence of the partnership has been agreed upon by the partner. So, ito yung may kasunduan sila kung kailan mag-e-end yung partnership nila. Kapag nagpatuloy naman, magiging partnership at will na siya. Pero i-discuss yan nung sunod na reporter. Continuation po siya ng Article 1785.